everyone, and welcome to this unique launch event. We are at Grand Hotel in Lund, in the very south of Sweden, and this is then Lund, the place where it all happened. Lund, a 1,000-year-old city with top 100 ranked university, the home of Bluetooth technology, and also the home of BrainLit. And that's why we're here. Let me introduce two very important people. The man who began it all, the inventor, the founder of BrainLit, Tord Wingren. And then we have the CEO of BrainLit, Mr. Niklas Olsson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope this is a good day for you both.
Absolutely, it's a fantastic day.
Yeah. And we will have a launch of the BrainLit Alven. And we have a couple of examples, and we will soon come back to them. But first of all, I'd like to hear, because we have viewers all around the world participating here. We have from North America, we're to Japan and plenty in Europe, all around the world. Just give us the story behind these inventions. Tell us, where did it all start? Why did you found BrainLit?
Well, it started from a meeting where I met academia, so I got some very important insights.
And what was that?
And that was that we are today spending more than 90% in average indoors, and we have a lot of poor lighting everywhere, basically. And in combination with the detrimental effects that we can see from a poor lighting on our bodies, I learned that it was an extremely important problem to address.
Yeah, and that's one thing, to see the problem, but did you have the solution at that moment?
Well, I started, of course, to think about that. And
good start.
And I understood that it was a really good timing for finding a solution as well. I mean, the blue LED has just at that time matured, and it was much more possible to actually recreate a full natural spectrum thanks to that.
And you call it biocentric lighting.
Yes.
Can you just give us your definition of what that is?
The combination of the possibility of recreate natural light and get it to change and vary over the day with a system which is controlling that, and also taking into account the aspects which the individual aspects as we have in our biology, where we see a lot of variations.
Yeah. So it's both you can make an indoor version of outdoor lighting, but also you can follow the hours.
Yes, so the system takes into account the time of the day and the actual circumstances for you as an individual as well.
Yeah, and then you use a spectrometer to
well, of course, there's a lot of poor light everywhere, and you can use a spectrometer to just check on how is the daylight look like and how is the indoor light look like.
Yeah, let's have a clip on that. Okay, that was a good example. So just tell us, what can you see, what can you get from this curve?
Here you see the full spectrum from the daylight outdoors, the outdoor light. And when you have a look at the indoor light, it's very much different. And it only has a number of discrete wavelengths, so it's not fully complete.
Yeah. But what's the problem? When we're spending so much time indoors, what happens to us?
You know, we have 10,000 of generation of human beings which has been outdoors. That has set that we need to have a hormone balance which is changing over the day. And when we're coming indoors, we lose our sync to the daytime and daytime timing.
So this is a modern phenomenon. We didn't have the need for this earlier.
Yes, you can see there is a fairly good correlation between the detrimental effects on us in a number of different areas, and we can go into these and see where science is today.
Yeah, and what about, are we all alike, or do we differ between individuals?
We differ a lot. I mean, you know how your sight is different. You see how you differ between different ages. You see it worse when you're getting older.
So it's totally different between you and me then?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. So it's very important you get an individual analysis.
Yes, of course, it's very important to, first of all, get a very good natural light indoors, but it's also important indoors to take more care of the personal light as you need.
Great. How does light impact on our human bodies? We will have some more information about this, because we will now meet a man, Mr. Joachim Stormley Hansen. He's CDO of COGNITION, but he's also he's the chief investigator for the Photon Project field study at the University of Oxford. Let's listen to him.
Basically, what we are learning is that that light has a host of effect on our physiology and our sleep-wake pattern, for example. So first of all, light gives us the ability to see, which is of course very important, but it also has this effect on our circadian system and on our non-visual system, we can say. And the non-visual system is actually a host of physiological responses within the body. The most known within the lighting industry is our dark hormone, melatonin, which is secreted from the pineal gland, and which is then regulated by our body clock, and hence the light in our surroundings. And what we're also learning now is that light directly through the eyes has influences on a host of other different physiological responses. So that could be hippocampal learning, mood, our pupil light reflex, etc. Around 75% of us have a circadian rhythm that's a bit longer than 24 hours. So we are owls. And 25% has a circadian rhythm that's a bit shorter than 24 hours, being larks. But there's obviously a distribution there. The other thing is that there's a change compared to age. So we start as being extremely early risers. Then when we get to teenagers, we are the latest in our entire lives. And then when you get to around 30, and then when you get older, then you get a more morning person. Generally speaking, if you are a evening person, so you have a delayed circadian clock, then light in the morning is very important for you. And that will synchronize your clock, so you actually get earlier and get synchronized. If you are a lark, so your circadian rhythm is shorter than 24 hours, perhaps then by seeking light in the afternoon, you can push your circadian clock so you go to bed a bit earlier, a bit later than otherwise for your early chronotype. One thing is the timing of light, but what we're also learning is the importance of the strength of light you experience throughout the day. So that's called the Zeitgeber strength. So that's the reason why when you've gone a long walk and you get home and you say, I've been out walking, so I'm really tired, that might be one of the reasons, but another reason is that you've been exposed to a lot of light. In that sense, so to tailor the individual needs when it comes to lighting, I think actually we are in a quite interesting time right now, because on one hand we see the science telling us this is really important and we need to take that into consideration. Light is not just for vision anymore. On the other hand, we see that lighting technologies, LED technologies, and also how to be able to control light throughout the day is evolving very rapidly. And then we also see new ways of measuring light that takes these new non-visual aspects into consideration. We are, as I said, in a 24/7, 365 society. The circadian timing is basically smeared out, so we need this very predictable light patterns in our everyday lives to be able to synchronize our clock, and this should also be taken into consideration when it comes to architecture, definitely. And light is a very, very, very strong sidekeeper when it comes to actually synchronizes this body clock. So we should start with the lighting.
Very interesting indeed. So, Tord, tell me, what does science in general say about the effect of light?
Good question. There's a number of areas where science has a lot of impact on our health, and the most important area, direct area, is really our sleep. And there we have a lot of studies showing the evidence how we can actually prolong our sleep with a number of hours, 1 or 2 hours. Today we are sleeping in average, human beings, 6.5 hours. Just 40, 50 years ago we were up to 8 hours. And science is showing that we need these kind of sleep.
So the improved sleep, that's a major fact.
That's a major thing, and that's the most important. That's also the base for a lot of the other improvements as we see in science.
Okay, so we start with improved sleep, and then?
Yeah, then we have, for example, the time shift, as you have when you're traveling or you have a social jet lag, so we call it jet lag, and we have what we call a phase response curve in our body, which means that we can actually change the timing in the hormone balance with the light. Actually a couple of hours we can do that.
Great. And then?
And then we have a number of other factors like learning. We have studies been showing that the school, the children can get better performance if they have a kind of a light as we are providing.
So that's not with a fact from improved sleep. It's another.
Yes, it's actually the learning. Of course, the sleep factor is also a base for that. You can show that if you have a better sleep, you also have a better memorizing effect, but you can also learn the text better thanks to that you have a better and improved light during the day.
Okay, great.
And then there's a number of other areas like athletic performance, which is very important. There's a huge study which has shown that you can improve your exercise and your performance in
Is this
a game.
just for professionals, or could amateurs gain from this?
It's actually for all of us. Even you, Johan, can get.
I'm a professional, so it's okay.
Okay.
Okay, I got it. Great. Performance, athletic performance. That's the fourth one.
Yeah. And then we have areas like stroke or being acutely, you have a trauma on your body.
Yeah.
Then you
and neonatal, because I can read from the screen here.
Yeah.
So before we come to stroke, just tell me about neonatal.
Yeah, neonatal is a very important area.
And how? In what way?
In the way that you have to provide the similar environment to the baby who's too early born as it would have had if it was still inside the mam.
I'm too early born. 200 years too early. No, just a month, but it's I would have been that big then otherwise. So actually that's true. So neonatal, quite interesting. And then you have...
Yeah, depression is such an area which is helped by getting a more bright light, and we can show that you can get in a much better mood when you're using light recipes for that.
Okay. And you mentioned stroke.
Yeah.
In what way does it help?
A stroke helps that it's a kind of a trauma, and when the body is in trauma, the stroke patients actually lose the synchronization with the daily rhythm, and they have to, as soon as possible, getting back in the daily synchronization with the rest of the body, with your hormones, etc.
Okay, so it's not just rehabilitation; it's from the very start.
Yeah, there are studies showing that you get a better heal effect out of that as well.
Yeah, and after a stroke, intensive care unit, is that the same kind of?
It's a similar kind of thing, yeah, where you also have a lot of trauma is coming when you're coming into the ICU. It can be different things, but in average, we can see that you lose a lot of the sync with your hormone balances, and then you need to get back also there. So it's very similar.
So and the biocentric lighting, it helps you get in the right rhythm.
It's exactly what it does.
Yeah, and then finally, dementia. If you remember.
No, I forgot that.
Okay, so some words about dementia.
Yeah, the dementia patients, they sleep very badly, oftenly. I mean, they lose track, and they are waking up many times. They fall on the floor, etc. And we need to help them with getting a better sleep, and that's also what we do with our light.
That was quite impressive, a wide range of different aspects of how you can use biocentric lighting. Thank you so much for these insightful facts, Tord. Niklas, can you just tell us all about, you've installed this system in different areas of the society. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, of course. We have our system installations quite all over the world currently. We have just completed a very nice installation in Hong Kong at the healthcare clinic, OT and P clinic. We are in New York at the Swedish Chamber of Commerce. We're at Norton Healthcare in Kentucky. We are today present in all continents. We are very proud of the installation we have done in Stockholm in the 911 center, 32 meters underground. We have been able to deliver daylight 24/7 for the team that runs this 911 center.
And beneath the surface then?
Yes, in a bunker without any windows. We have today created a fully biocentric environment where people feel better, produce better, are more energized and more healthy.
Wow.
We have also, as Tord mentioned before, done a number of installations in school with amazing results in terms of cognitive improvements. And I think the figure from the Danish school, the Byen Skole, where the Technology University of Denmark executed a scientific study. They came up with the figure that from a cognitive improvement point of view, they were exactly 11.8% better performing than the reference groups. So that's quite an amazing improvement. Yeah. We also have done an installation here in this in this hotel where we are today. Yeah. In an old building from the late 1800s, we have been able to implement modern technology to create a new way of hosting meetings where the guests, the audience, are not feeling tired after a few hours in a conference. And we have a number of very exciting projects ongoing around the world.
And you can come to Grand Hotel here in Lund just to look at it, I believe.
Yes.
So and then I know you have a sports version as well.
Yeah, we do. I mean, a group that benefits a lot from our technology are athletes, since they can really boost their energy and they can synchronize where they perform at best. And we have done a very exciting project here in Malmö with Malmö Redhawks.
Yeah, and let's look at that.
Vi kom i kontakt med BrainLit här ganska tidigt. Vi är ett hockeylag som gärna gillar att jobba med med lite nya grejer. Vi har den här O-ringen som är en del av det, som kom i kontakt med dem och var där och hälsade på dem i Lund och fick en enorm upplevelse vilken effekt ljuset kan göra. På den vägen var det.
I'm working as a strength and conditioning coach, but strength and conditioning I'm working with human. Sometimes when you see the guys on the ice, maybe you can have the feeling that there are machines out there on the ice, but they are not. They are humans like everyone else, and they react and they have feelings. So we have to go in a more holistic view to look on performance, and I used to say human performance. That's why we started to look at the sleep, the recovery, and in that way we also took the cooperation with BrainLit. From the beginning of the season to the end of the season, and also at the darkest period here in Sweden, when I think the light really can be a game changer for us. Actually, in the gym, we took away all of the old light and just bring in the new from BrainLit. But here, in the guys' locker room, we actually have the old equipment or the old light still in the roof. So every time we have new partners here or new players, we're trying to have a little showcase, trying to put down the BrainLit light and put down the old light to just expose them to see what kind of different it is from the old light to the new. And as I said, all of the guys that are coming here comes a little bit, wow, is this the different? But with the new light, it's like a walk in the park.
A walk in the park, that sounds nice. That was an example from the sports world, how you can use the biocentric lighting. Niklas, I'm just wondering about other areas. Let's talk about the health sector. Has that become even more important for you now?
Yes, given the current market conditions, we see an influx of inquiries from healthcare operators from all over the world. And the awareness of the importance of light in healthcare is also booming as well. So a combination of the current market conditions and the knowledge how important it is to use circadian light to accelerate the healing process is becoming more and more understood, known and accepted.
Yeah, and I know you have the full range. You have the elderly care, but also to the youngest ones.
We do, and that also shows the importance of light during our total life cycle, from birth to elderly care.
Yeah, and we will have a clip showing that from Helsingborg's NEONATAL.
Jag har arbetat här på neonatal i över 30 år. Vi flyttade in på vår nya avdelning 2018. Förr så vårdade vi barnen väldigt mörkt. Och både föräldrarna och barnen och vi var i ett ständigt mörker. Men nu när vi kan ha den nya belysningen så märker vi att både barnen mår bättre, kan titta upp trots att det är lite belysning på. Föräldrarna upplever vi att de mår bättre i denna miljön och faktiskt personalen har en väldigt mycket bättre arbetsmiljö. Man kan se barnen i barnens rätta hudfärg. Man kan se barnens ansiktsuttryck där barnen visar hur de mår. Och det lär vi ju även föräldrarna att se hur barnen visar tecken på hur de mår. Om de mår bra eller om de behöver hjälp och stöd med någonting. Detta ljuset fungerar ju bra dygnet runt. Vår nattpersonal upplever att de kan använda sig av nattbelysningen som är ett väldigt, väldigt milt ljus. Men de kan ändå se barnet väldigt tydligt och de kan röra sig runt i rummet på ett tryggt sätt. Och som sagt, säkerheten runt barnet blir mycket bättre.
I rollen som chef så är vi ju såklart alltid extra intresserade av de frågor som handlar om arbetsmiljö och välmående på sitt arbete. Och för att kunna se om det finns någon skillnad mot den tidigare vårdavdelningen där neonatalavdelningen då var placerad, där man arbetade stora delar av sin arbetspass i ganska mörka vårdutrymmen och utrymmen generellt, så har vi gjort en föremätning där vi ställde ett antal frågor till personalen för att se om man var påverkad av ljuset. Till exempel om man hade sömnsvårigheter, huvudvärk, besvär från ögonen eller på annat sätt kände av en hälsoaspekt som var kanske negativ beroende på det mörka utrymmen och ljus som vi jobbade i. Och nu i våras 2020 så gjorde vi en ny mätning och de svar vi har kunnat se visar på en tydlig skillnad. Och det tänker vi ju att det har med ljus och belysning att göra. Så att det är generellt en väldigt positiv upplevelse och det är också så som personalen ofta berättar om att de trivs i det nya ljuset.
How inspiring, all the way from ice hockey to neonatal. Very interesting. And I think it's time for the big launch moment. So, Nicholas, are you prepared?
Yes, Johan, thank you so much. We are today launching a truly remarkable product. A product that has never been seen before, that improves your health and well-being as soon as you start using it. Quite a few people have asked, how long time does it take until you see the effects from it? We can actually measuring the effects between 7 and 10 minutes after being exposed to the light. That's how powerful this product is. So, welcome to the world of BrainLit Alven. Here we have our Alven, the BrainLit Alven. This is, as mentioned before, a truly remarkable product, and I will try to explain why and how to use it and how to live with it. It's the world's first personal light-based ecosystem that is also multi-regional deployable. It means that it doesn't matter if you live in Japan or North America, Germany, Sweden or Brazil. The same product, the same platform can be used on all markets. So you can bring it with you if you're moving, you can bring it with you if you're traveling, etc. And this solution is built upon our biocentric light technology and our patent portfolios. And the market for this technology is simply huge, and we will try to explain why. This product consists of 3 parts. It's the pole that contains all the electronics we are using. Inside this pole, we have a very advanced control systems. We have a number of sensors. We have light sensors, we have radar sensors that can detect the presence, but also the way we are breathing, etc. We are using infrared sensors to detect the presence on top of the radar. We are also using the light sensor to measure the light that the product emits. The powerful luminar here can emit from 10 to 7,000 lumen. I would say that this is not a traditional luminar or lamp. This is a photon cannon. That's the power of this product. And on top of that, we have a phenomenal CRI value, or above 90%. So this solution will give healthcare workers, artists, anyone that sees colors to be rightfully represented as important. This product will be phenomenal for that. We can also dim it down from 100% to 0.1% without without any flickering. We are fulfilling the global standard IEEE 1789 to the full extent. And the product can work either standalone in a home or in a small network in an office. It can also be connected to our larger infrastructure system as an integrated part. And the interesting thing with this technology is that when we are using the sensors to measure the impact of the light on the individual, the data is then fed back to our cloud-based AI system through Wi-Fi. The data is analyzed and the right light recipe is then sent back to the Alven that will then can emit the right light for the right individual at the right time. So this is a health ecosystem. It's not just a standalone product. So let's take a look at the app that controls this device. We can control the device either through the interface on the product or through the app on your Android phone or your iPhone. And we can also do a number of other devices. The sensors we are using to identify the individual and also the individual's performance, health data, could be anything from a smartwatch to a sensor ring or through optical sensors, etc. Those data are fed up into our AI system in the cloud. But if we want to simplify this, I can put the boost button here, and we see that the Luminar responds immediately up to the boost level. And when is this important? Well, in the morning you want to get energized, you want to get your hormone curves in full swing, that's when you use the boost. Autolit is the recipe when we are following the daily variation of the day. And then the last program we have here is the relax, when we want to wind down in the end of the day or take a break during the day. So these are the basic functionalities, how we control the system from our phones.
Thank you so much, Niklas, for this presentation. And just come back to you, Tord, because we will talk about the future now. What are your perspectives when it comes to the future and BrainLit?
Thank you, Johan. We will, of course, continue to develop our products based on science and the science discoveries. And what we have seen so far is that we know a lot now. The last 2 years has given us much more information about our whole system, the eyes hardwired to the brain, so that system works, and then the area around chronobiology, the biology clock, and how important it is to keep our body clocks in sync with the daily time.
Okay, so with these two major facts as a starting point, what kind of products do you see then?
We see a lot of different products. So we have a wide patent portfolio as well, which can help to cover that. And we see different form factors. So we can do glasses, helping to expose light when you're not indoors, when you're also outdoors.
So you have light
exercises
from your glasses in your eyes?
That's right.
Okay.
So you can have the light sources here or in different places in your glasses as well. Yeah.
Okay. Fascinating. And more?
And then you have the displays, which are now everywhere. You have it in your phone, you have it in your TV, etc. And what we can do is...
And your laptop as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So they are everywhere, basically, and we can help to control that light.
And why do you need biocentric lighting from the screens?
As you know, we have a lot of reports telling us the bad effect of having display light being exposed to you in the evening. And what we want to do is, of course, be able to change that. So, and that we see the possibility to do that.
Okay. And more, I can see vehicles on the screen here.
Yeah, what we can do is so that we can help to generate much more form factors, to promote more partners, develop also products and technologies, and we will do that ourselves as well.
And the manufacturing will be here in Lund?
Exactly. Okay. That's a nice thing. But of course we will see manufacturing all over the world, I think. Otherwise we can't really cover the global aspect of it. And
so you have the circle of life and the circle of day. I can see because we have the picture behind you. So that are the two perspectives you're looking at.
That is all the aspects, actually. That's including your whole life, all people all around the globe, individualized light everywhere, at any time.
Thanks so much, Tord. It's quite impressive to hear you, because I know your track record. This is one of the guys who worked very hard with the Bluetooth technology many years ago, but now it's BrainLit and the biocentric lighting. Good luck in the future, and the final words to you, Niklas.
Thank you, and thank you all viewers attending our launch today. We are extremely happy to launch our BrainLit Alven solution, and thank you, Johan, for hosting this event and keeping us under control.
In some way, yes.
Well, the product we have launched today is truly exciting, and our mission we're on is improving life with biocentric light. And the market is huge, and the need is even greater. And what we really hope with this product is to bring it out as quickly as possible to the market, to bring all the health benefits we've been talking about today. We really hope that we have brought you some news, some insights in how important light is for our health and well-being, and that we have changed the way how you see life from a light perspective. We need to spend 6 to 8 hours in natural light per day. Very few of us do it, but with the BrainLit Alven, we can move daylight indoors and create a more healthy environment for us all. Thank you.
Thank you all for participating. Thank you to the people here at Grand Hotel. And now it's time for a Q&A section. So if you have any questions, take the email address you have on the screen and write your questions, and we will gladly answer them if we can. So thank you so much for participating until this point. Thank you. So, welcome back to the stage. Now we are into the more free section, the Q&A section. So, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to write them to us. You have the address alven@brainlit.com. alven@brainlit.com. And I have some questions on my own. And I see that some have arrived to my phone. So if you write, I'll get them to my smartphone. But I'll start with my own best question. What about you're collecting data here? Plenty of data. I haven't heard about machine learning, artificial intelligence. Do we have anything in this Alven?
Yes, the more data you actually share with the system, we use that to model your own biology so that we can personalize light much more depending on the data as you share. And that is a machine learning algorithm behind that.
Okay, and so the machine learning processes will be into future products as well?
Machine learning definitely is helping us also to adapt to the latest science. So we will be able to make more and better light recipes related to your personality. But we're already there today.
Okay, great. Well, maybe the most natural question, I believe, where can I get an Alven if I want to have one of those? If I want to give it to my mother in a Christmas present?
Well, currently, if you're in the healthcare sector, you need to turn to Ario to ask for where you can get this fantastic product. If you're in any other sector, you need to turn to your closest BrainLit contact. There will be on our homepage.
For me, that's you. So
yes, you can sign up on the homepage your interest in the product, and we will get back to you and give each and every one detailed information where to get the product.
And is it possible from all around the world, or?
We will have the product available in Europe from December and onwards, and for United States, Americas, and Asia Pacific during Q1 of 2021.
Okay, great. Here's a question. Could BrainLit products or other BCL products have been developed and sold 3 to 5 years ago? I don't know who will answer that.
I look at Tord.
Okay.
That's the normal way how we do it.
I mean, we have started to sell biocentric lighting as more from the group perspective, there where we have all the installations, or most of the installation has been on that part. But nowadays we know much more. The latest 2 years actually has arrived in much more conclusions on how our biology works, which makes it possible for us to really explore the patterns as we have in the machine learning and the individualized light aspect. So I would say the last 2 years has helped us to really mature the biocentric lighting concept.
Okay, great. Here's a question just arrived from New York. I'll give it to you, Niklas. Can BrainLit lighting be used together with traditional architectural lighting?
Yes, it's a very good question. That we have now a number of projects. For example, this old hotel from the late 1890s, where we have combined the traditional lighting, or I would say luminaires like chandeliers, etc. We are controlling them with our control system. So you actually have two different kinds of light. You have light for health, well-being, and productivity, and then light for sight, or light for candy for the eyes, so to speak. So it's possible to get both.
Okay, and keep on sending your questions to Alven at brainlit.com. I'll continue with another question that just arrived. What connectivity options do you have with Alven?
Well, in Alven we have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and we can also connect with cables to internet, etc. So there is a number of different, I believe.
Yes.
So.
And in what ways you can control them all by with your smartphone, or?
There is the application, BCL application to it as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And otherwise, you can just through the buttons control it.
Yes.
Okay. Here's another question. How do you know what light setting to use when?
That's a very good question. It depends on, first and foremost, we think that most people will use the autolit. That is to follow your natural rhythm during your natural day. Then there will be specific moments that you want to be energized. You use the boost function, or you want to relax, you use the relax function. It's not complicated. Then when you start developing your own light recipes, or you start to fine-tune yourself, your own biology with the device, and you will allow in the app to share data with our AI system, then the Alven will learn over time the kind of light that benefits your personal health the most. So it's fully automatic.
Okay. And the thing that just struck me, what about measurements? How big is it? How much does it weigh?
I think it's designed to be suitable over a desk, or over a bed, or over a reading chair. You're not supposed to walk under it, so you might face some challenges.
Yeah, I noticed.
But what we have to keep in mind here is that the really healthy light comes from having the light from above. So it doesn't.
I'm 2 meters, by the way.
So it doesn't really help to put a table lamp and expect to get biological effects out of it. You need to have the light from above to really get the full biological effects. Hence the height of the lamp. It's approximately 1.82 from the floor to the lamp, and we have tested it now in various settings, from hospitals to private homes.
So here it's 182 centimeters.
Correct. Okay. And it weighs approximately 25 kilos, give and take.
Okay. And the width?
600.
Okay.
For Americans, that's, I would say, close to 2 foot. And we need also the width of the lamp to project the right amount of healthy light. A spotlight wouldn't generate the same biological effects. You wouldn't have this right spread of the light. So it's very important to keep in mind that the objective with this product is to deliver a very healthy environment. That is the outcome of the product. That's key to us. And when I do think it's a very nice design, and I hope that it will, over time, will be considered to be almost iconic, that it's a very special design.
Here's a question from Tennessee, United States. What area does the Alven cover, and how many people can be able to use each unit?
This is also a very good question. This is a point-of-use product. It means that it can cover an area of approximately, I would say, 2 square meters. That's what we are calculating it. And you sit
on the floor.
On the floor, yeah. You sit under that, or you lay in a bed under the lamp. And you can have up to, I think, currently 10 users that can have their individual settings. They check in with their phone or their smart device to the lamp.
10 people very close to each other.
Not really that kind of user scenario. It's more that you have it in your home. And one area that we see as very interesting, for example, in Asia Pacific, is for home studies, where children have a tendency to study for long hours in very dark rooms. And there's a certain health disadvantage of living your life in that way. And then you can have one Alven for the kids to study under. And each child can check in with their own phone, so the system will know it's now young Andrew or a little bit older Susan that is studying under this luminar.
And I can get into rooms realizing, aha, grandma has been here.
You can.
I get it. So how many? 10? About 10?
About 10 currently.
Okay. Great. You are the questions are arriving smoothly, and here's another question from New York again. It seems Alven is personalized system, but is biocentric lighting deployable throughout entire office spaces?
The technology is such that you can deploy it everywhere in a building, and it's just about plug-and-play solution as we have today in the system, so we can use that together with Alven, and Alven can be, of course, deployed and connected to all of that. That is the base of our patents as well. So,
actually, the creation of Alven came out of that many of our system users said that I would love to have this kind of solution in my home office, or we have one office that is a remote working office, and we would like just to have one room with biocentric light. Can you develop a deployable product? And that's how we started to think about miniaturizing our quite advanced system into a single freestanding product. So the Alven has a tremendous amount of computer power in it, the same as actually as our bigger system.
Another question that just popped into my head. If I'm a parent and my teenager is sitting here studying, can I be standing in another room controlling it? Oh, I think she needs more. Could a parent be interacting from another room? There's a giant possibility here.
There will, of course, be a possibility to, like we can control any light source, we can also control this remotely, if you wish, and you are permitted to do that for the system.
And who decides that?
Maybe you need the permission for the person.
Okay, I realize.
But being a parent myself, one useful area is actually that you can detect when the children are sitting studying as well, since we have presence sensors under the luminar. So I will know then if my children are sitting under the Alven studying or they're somewhere else doing something else.
The big brother is watching you. Okay, great. Thank you. We had another question here from Sweden. How long time does it take for Alven or any other BrainLit product to fully incorporate a personal recipe? How long learning curve is there?
Today we can see that algorithms take, depending on how much you're connected to it actually, but it may take a couple of days until you have reached sufficient data to come to that point. But we might be able to accelerate that further on, of course, later here.
Yeah, and it can, if you have different users, it will easily keep them well apart.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have the possibility, of course, to give the personalized light through the oven because we know who is under and who's been checked into the oven.
Okay, great. Just keep on writing questions. I get them here. Here's another one from Finland. Can you control the device without a smartphone?
Yes, of course. Good question as well. You have the buttons on the luminar where you can run different settings and different mode settings. Dim it up. Actually, can't say dim it up. You dim it down or you increase the power of the light source. So that's possible, yes. And as mentioned before, you can connect several Alvens into a network of products as well. So if you have a room with maybe an office with maybe 10 of them, you can control all 10 from the same user interface.
Okay, great. A last question, if you have any more, just write, because I'm at the end now. Here's another one. What makes Alven better than other health-focused labs?
Well, where do we start?
Yeah.
You want to start, Tor?
Yeah, I can do that. I mean, we know it's based on personalized lighting, so it's very much optimized towards your personal history. The light history is very important, so it knows about that. It knows about your sleep. So, and there's no other system which is keeping track, as Alven really do, if you allow it to do it, and it will adapt the light also for your future needs. So it means that if you tell the system that now I'm going to Japan tomorrow, we can help you to phase shift your hormone system in such a way that you actually are much more in line with the actual local time when you arrive. Do you want to continue?
And if your journey will be postponed, no, it won't be Japan. It will be to Ireland instead.
Then it will adapt to that as well.
Okay, great. Yes, Nicholas?
I mean, in the single largest light study done, the Munich study, 2017 in Germany, it was recognized that we have a number of different chronotypes. To simplify it, we can say we have 20 chronotypes from morning to late evening person. And if you are really successful with a smart or with a traditional system, you can maximum cater for 16% of population's need for the right light at the right time. So if you would buy another, call it health light solution, at its best, if they're lucky, they would be able to cater for 16% of the user's actual need. Since the Alven is identifying what is your need, it will adjust to 100% of the population's need. So one Alven setting for me will be different than yours, Johan, and different from Tord's. Yeah. There is not one solution that fits everyone.
But you say 20 chronotypes?
There's actually more than that.
And we have the word for the morning people and later. Do we have other words for you're a afternoon type of guy?
I think we are heading in that way because the differences are so big.
Okay,
and we know that from the sports world that, for example, an athlete that performs at the wrong time during the day versus his chronotype preference might actually have up to 20-26% less outcome or less performance versus if he or she would compete at the right time for their chronotype. So that's also a reason why there's such great interest from the sports world, that with this technology we can learn every individual's preference and adjust their performance points.
So a football manager, for example, could look at his players and realize, we would like to prefer to have the games at 1 o'clock because we have that type of players.
That is the logical.
This could be quite interesting, I believe. Yeah. We have some more questions just arrived. Have you seen any improvements in learning in schools when using the light?
Yes, and there are a number of studies also showing that we get improved cognition, improved learning, and those Those we have seen.
Yeah, and in what numbers when you measure it?
We see an improved learning, about 20%. We have seen that in some studies. Yeah.
And what about the how to say the feeling in the classroom, the behavioural, being able to be concentrated?
Yeah, that's cognition, we normally say, and that's that's the improvement, about 12% or 11.8%, as Niklas said before in the presentation here today.
And what is important is that the science is developing so fast now in how light affects from newborn babies to school children to elderly people in nursing homes. And we are very proud that our system is an open platform. As soon as new science appears, we can over the air upload the information to all Alvens out on the market. So it means that, for example, in schools, when new science appears, we can download or upload new software, new light recipes that will address needs we don't even know about today, but might know about tomorrow.
And then the teacher can say, that, my pupils, was new science just arrived. that could be quite an effect, I believe.
Yeah,
okay, we have no more questions, so it's time to stop. I just wonder, final information. If people come up with new questions about the products, about biocentric lighting, what should they do?
They should send an email to info@brainlit.com.
info@brainlit.com. So if you have any more questions, just
send them to us. We are eager to...
Yeah. And you will contact them immediately, and then things are running.
Of course.
Thank you so much for participating. I hope you've enjoyed this launch from center of Lund, where it all started in south of Sweden. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got answers. And big thank you to both of you. And take care, everyone. Thank you. Vad sa du?
Tack så mycket.
Ja.